So the 2% that weren't invited for review will require some sort of standard remediation and redress approach. But for the 15% of clients that either declined or didn't respond to the offer of a review, what should firms be thinking about doing for them?
Yeah, that's a great question, Gary. And I think the first thing is to sort of like reiterate the point you've made there is that the 2% of clients who weren't invited to engage in the process, the FCA has been quite clear that they would expect those clients to be paid some sort of redress. But in relation to your question about clients who have not been engaging, the first thing that firms need to do is to go back to 2018. The FCA has been very clear that firms need to go back and check their data going back to January 2018. Now, then firms need to be looking at those clients and seeing whether they've been paying for a service and not receiving an ongoing review service. Maybe they haven't been receiving an annual review meeting for a number of years. And then they might, potentially consider paying redress to some of those clients. If there's been one or two missed reviews, it's less likely that redress would be required. But firms really need to go back to 2018, see which clients were paying for a service and what sort of service those clients were paying for. And then obviously, if clients aren't engaging, there needs to be a disengagement process as well, which isn't as straightforward as some people think it is, because you need to take into account areas such as vulnerability and how many chases you're going to make before you potentially cut a client off. So I think there's two things that really need to be done with that cohort, with those cohorts, Gary. The first is sort of like identifying all the data back to 2018, and then making a decision as to whether or not redress may be payable to some of them or not.
Makes a lot of sense. Thanks, David.